Page number 91. Handbook for Mankind. Buddhadasa, Bhikkhu. We say we are this or that, because in any society it is expedient to recognize by names and occupations. But we mustn't go believing that we really are this or that, as is assumed at the level of relative truth. To do so is to behave like the crickets which, when their faces become covered with dirt, become disoriented and muddled and proceed to bite each other until they die. We humans, when our faces become covered in dirt, when we are subject to all sorts of delusions, become so bewildered and disoriented that we do things no human being could ever do under ordinary circumstances. Killing, for instance. So let us not go blindly clinging to relative truths. Rather let us be aware that they are just relative truths, essential in a society, but nothing more. We have to be aware of what this body and mind really is, what its true nature is. In particular, we have to be aware of its impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and non-selfhood. Make sure we always remain independent of it. As for the belt position and so on, which we couldn't do without, let us regard these two as relative truths, so that we can break free from the existing custom of saying, for instance, this belongs to so and so, that belongs to such and such. The law watches over ownership rights for us. There is no need for us to cling to the idea of mine. We ought to possess things purely and simply for the sake of convenience and ease, and not so that they can be master over our minds. When we have this clear knowledge, things will become our servants and slaves, and we shall remain on top of them. If our thoughts goes the way of craving and attachment, so that We become conscious of having such and such and being so and so, clinging firmly to these ideas. Things will get on top of us, and we shall be the servants and slaves under their control. Instead, the tables can quite easily be turned in this way. So we have to be careful. We have to arrange things in such a way that we are sure of staying independent and on top of things. If we don't, we may find ourselves in the most pitiable position and feel very sorry for ourselves indeed. When we have really come to perceive clearly that nothing is worth getting or being, disenchantment nibbida, disenchantment nibbida, develops in proportion to the intensity of the insight. It is a sign that clinging has become less firm and is starting to give way. It is a sign that we have been slaves for so long that the idea of trying to escape has at least occurred to us. This is the onset of disenchantment and disillusionment. When one becomes fed up with one's own stupidity in grasping at or clinging to things, believing things to be worth having and being. As soon as disenchantment has set in, there is bound to come about a natural, automatic process of disentanglement, viraka. As is the rope with which one has been tightly bound were being untied, or a rinsing out, as when the dye that had been firmly fixed in a piece of crack is washed out by soaking it in the appropriate substances. This process, whereby clinging gives way to a breaking free from or a dissolving out from the world or from the objects of that clinging, was called by the Buddha emancipation. Emancipation. This state is most important, though not the final stage. It is a more important step forward. complete liberation. When one has broken free to this extent, complete liberation from suffering is assured. Once broken free from slavery, one need never again be slave to the world. One becomes pure and uncontaminated, whereas previously one was defined in every way. To be enslaved to things is to be defined in body, speech, and thought. To break free from slavery to the delightful taste of the world is to achieve the pure condition and never be defined again. This real purified Visuddhi, once it has been attained, will give rise to a genuine calm and coolness, free from all turbulence, strips, strife, strip, strife and moment and torment. This state of freedom from oppression and turbulence was called by the Buddha simply peace, santi. That is stillness, coolness in all situations, which is virtually the same thing as nirvana. Nirvana has been translated as absence of any instrument of torture. Taken another way, it means extinction without remainder. So the word nirvana has two very important meanings. Firstly, absence of any source of torment and burning, freedom from all forms of bondage and constraint, and secondary, extinction with no fuel for the further arising of suffering. The combination of these meanings indicates a condition of complete freedom from suffering. There are several other useful meanings of the word nirvana. It can be taken to mean the extinction of suffering or the complete elimination of defiance or the state, realm, or condition that is the cessation of all suffering, all defilements, or karmic activity. Though the word nirvana is used by numerous different sects, the sense in which they use it is often not the same at all. For instance, one book takes it to mean simply calm, and coolness, because the identity nirvana with deep concentration. Other groups even consider total absorption in sensuality as nirvana. The Buddha defined nirvana as simply that condition of freedom from bondage, torment, and suffering, which results from seeing the true nature of the worldly condition and all things, and so being able to give up or clinging to them. It is essential then that we recognize the very great value of insight into the true nature of things and endeavor to cultivate this insight by one means or another. Using one method, we simply encourage it to come about of its own accord, naturally by developing day and night the joy that results from mental purity, until the qualities we have described gradually come about. The other method consists in developing mental power by following an organized system of concentration and insight practice. This latter technique is appropriate for people with a certain kind of disposition who may make rapid progress with it if conditions are right. But we can practice the development of insight by the nature method in all circumstances and at all times, just by making our own way of daily living so pure and honest that there arise in succession spiritual joy, piti, and pamoda, piti and pamoda. Calm, passative, insight into the true nature of things. Disenchantment, withdrawal, viraka, escape, purification from defilements, visuddhi, and then peace and nirvana, dippan, and coolness, santi, so that we come to get taste of freedom from suffering steadily, naturally, day by day, month by month, year by year, gradually approaching closer and closer to nirvana. Summing up, natural concentration and insight which enable a person to attain the path and the fruit consist in purifying all day and every day the truth of the statement that nothing is worth getting or being. Anyone who wishes to get this result must strive to purify himself and to develop exemplary personal qualities so that he can find a perpetual spiritual joy in work and leisure. Không biết chồng biết được không? Leisure. The very joy induces clarity and freshness, mental calm, stillness, and serves naturally, automatically, to give the mind ability to think and introspect. With the insight that nothing is worth getting or being constantly present, the mind loses all desire for the things it once used to grasp at and cling to. It is able to break free from the things it used to regard as me and mine, and all bright craving for things ceases, suffering which no longer has anywhere to lodge. The vital right way, and the job of eliminating suffering is done. This is the reward, and it can be gained by any one of us. Until page number 94. Have a wonderful day, all the time. Bye bye. So did come, get the sea. Get that suka. Anyone, me only. Me